Evening. Evening, beer lovers. If you're a beer lover and not a book lover, we invite you to become a book lover. Books, which is part of our winter of reading. I'm Michelle Jesky. I'm the city librarian and executive. And our mission is to create welcoming spaces where everybody is free to explore and connect. And that includes online. So I want to say hello to the folks that are joining us online. It includes our 27 amazing locations. And it also includes bringing our programs and services out to places like this. So thank you for being here tonight. This is part of Winter of Reading, as I mentioned before. It's a 2-month-long program where adults get to have fun, learn about the library, and get back to reading. It's going to be really cold this weekend, so no better time to cuddle up with a good book. If you want to learn more, we have a lot of information up here at the front. You can sign up. I'm super excited about this year's battle. I want to thank our MC tonight, Joe Mills over here, our MC, Tyler Gomes, right here in front. He's our camera and sound man, and our amazing 4 panelists. Thank you so much for being here. I've been in your shoes. You're going to do great. I know that. This is our 5th annual Battle of the Books. It's the first one that we're doing in person, I think. It's also our host, Raices Brewery's 5th anniversary, so that seems incredibly appropriate. And we are live streaming this, so while you are all here in person, which is great, we have friends online too. We will be using the voting app Slido, Slido, so go ahead and get that downloaded if you don't have it. It's a lot of people to put together an event like this, so thank you so much for everything that you have done. And lastly, I just want to tell you a little bit about what this event is about before I invite Joe up here. So each of our panelists is going to have the opportunity to advocate for their book of choice for fun. And our MC, Joe Mills, from our Collection Services Department, is going to come up here now to share more details about how all this works. Thank you again so much for being here.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. So once again, my name is Joe Mills. I work at the Denver Public Library. I work down in the basement at the Central Library, the receiving department. All the brand new books come through me. It's fantastic. I liken it to working at the animal shelter where every day I see 5 things that I want to take home. But I just can't take them all home. And they're all just those fresh smelling new books, fantastic stuff. Occasionally I get recruited to do things like this, host a spelling bee or a trivia contest or a battle of the books, which I have never participated in. Again, this is our 5th year, first in person. All you out there in YouTube land, how many viewers we got right now?
13.
13, lucky 13 viewers. Let's see if we can double that. Double that later tonight. We have a panel of 4 fabulous contestants here that are going to advocate for a book that they very much want you to read. And you're going to want to read. And I'm told the other books will be banned from the collection. That's what I was told. They will be all thrown away. So you better, the winner, everybody's going to read it. The rest of them are going to the trash. I'm kidding, of course. All right, let's get our first contestant up here. Our first contestant, Jennifer Wolf, Ponca Ojibwe Santee, owner and founder of Project Mosaic LLC, has worked with dozens of nonprofit organizations to define their needs and next steps. She is a commissioner for the Denver Public Library, on the Racial Equity Board for the City and County of Denver, and the Denver Foundation's Academy Advisory Committee for Community Impact. She is in the final stages of getting her PhD in Indigenous Health. A round of applause for Jennifer Wolf. contestant Adib Khan. Adib Khan is the executive director of the Denver Economic Development and Opportunity, appointed by Mayor Mike Johnson in 2023 to spearhead business growth, workforce development, and economic revitalization in the city with a background in private, philanthropic, and nonprofit sectors. Adib has led impactful initiatives, including overseeing $30 million in health equity investments at Delta Dental of Colorado Foundation, and developing award-winning ESG programs at TIAA. A recognized leader, he holds degrees from USC and the University of Denver and serves on several boards across the state. He finished third in this year's Heisman voting. Give it up for Adib Khan. Thank you so much, Adib. Julia Torres, please join us on the stage. Language arts teacher, has a very large fan base here already. A veteran language arts teacher, librarian, and teen programs administrator in Denver, Colorado. Julia serves librarians and educators through teacher development workshops rooted in equity and access in literacy and librarianship, and education as a practice of liberty. Welcome, Julia. Lisa Cutter is a member of the Colorado Senate who represents District 20. District 20 includes Arvada, Fairmount, and Evergreen in Jefferson County. In 2024, Senator Cutter co-sponsored Senate Bill 24049, Content of Material in Libraries, requiring notice of challenged material to be published on the internet, establishing a process for reconsideration of challenged material, and preventing discrimination in the library's displays, acquisition standards, public meeting spaces, and retention policies. A round of applause for Senator Lisa Cutter. Those are our panelists. Here's what's going to happen. Each of you will have 4 minutes on the microphone to convince the audience to read your book. What's going to happen? I'm going to, got the order here. Jennifer, you'll be going first. You can prepare yourself now. You're going to have the microphone. I'm going to ask you to tell us the name of your book. And once you have told us the title and the author, I'm going to start my timer for 4 minutes. And then when you have 1 minute left, I'm going to butt in and I'm going to say like 1 minute left. Wrap it up, and then you get cut off at 4 minutes. All right? So our guinea pig, our first panelist, Jennifer, let's go ahead and get you here. Test, test. Okay, hang on, let me get situated here. Test, test.
Okay.
Get my phone. Oh. Pardon?
This is all just part of my introduction.
Okay. Make sure the mic, like right in your mouth. You gotta eat the mic, is what they
Right
say.
there?
That's
Okay.
right there. That should do it. All right. Please tell us the name of your book.
Well, I wanted to introduce myself in my cultural way. Ujuden denaway maganida Jennifer Wolf Nishnikaz, Ishquake Ijigun Quaid Indigo Jibomag. Waswaganing and Dunjaba Ishkonagoning. My name is Jennifer Wolf, and my book is Breaking Sweetgrass.
Right. You have 4 minutes starting now.
Well, I'm actually going to take the first couple seconds of my 4 minutes as a moment of silence for the California wildfires. These memories are especially painful for those of us in Colorado who clearly remember the smoke burning our eyes, who know the feeling of the burning in our lungs caused by the decimation of forests and the creatures living in those forests. In recent years, wildfires in California, Colorado, and across the globe have felt apocalyptic. Towering flames, devouring homes, forests, and lives. Yet for thousands of years, this was not the way of the land. Indigenous communities, particularly in California, maintained a sacred balance through cultural burning practices. Small, controlled fires set intentionally to clear away excess brush and nurture growth. Tree ring studies tell the story. These lands were tended to with care until colonization stopped these practices. And now, without these intentional burns, wildfires rage uncontrolled. This brings us to the heart of Robin Wall Kimmerer's Braiding Sweetgrass, a book that offers something both urgent and hopeful, a reminder that we can learn from the wisdom of the land if we're willing to listen. In the opening pages, Kimmerer shares the story of Sky Woman, who fell from the sky and was caught by the embrace of animals. And in gratitude, she planted seeds on Turtle Island and nurtured the world into abundance. This creation story is rooted in reciprocity, giving back as much as we take. But somewhere along the way, we lost that balance. Colonization replaced stewardship with extraction, and reverence was replaced with greed. Today, we treat the land not as a relative, but as a resource to consume. Kimmerer's words remind us that the earth is not something we own. Too. One of the most haunting stories in Braiding Sweetgrass is that of Wendigo, a creature from the Anishinaabe teachings who is never satisfied. Consumed by greed and hunger, the Wendigo devours everything in its path, even its own kin. Sound familiar? Our global economy feeds the same unsustainable appetite: deforestation, pollution, and a climate spiraling out of control. We live in the shadow of Wendigo. But Kimmerer doesn't leave us in despair. She tells us that the antidote to Wendigo's hunger is simple: care, reciprocity, and generosity. If we choose to share, to care for one another on earth, we can starve Wendigo and heal our communities. Also writes about how reconnecting with nature is good for our mental and spiritual health. Whether it's braiding sweetgrass, tending a garden, or simply listening to the wind in the trees, these acts ground us in gratitude. We may not all have ancestral homelands to return to, but Kimmerer invites us all to build reciprocal relationships in the places we call home right now.
1 minute.
And this isn't just philosophical, it's practical. The global climate crisis is overwhelming, but our actions as individuals still matter. Kimmerer reminds us that thinking globally and acting locally, learning to live in gratitude and reciprocity can have profound effects. Braiding Sweetgrass is a guidebook for anyone seeking a pathway from despair. It weaves together indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and personal storytelling to offer us a vision of how we can live in harmony. In a time when fires are raging and Wendigo's hunger feels endless, we must remember Kimmerer's words. The earth is still offering us gifts. We just need to remember how to give back. So read this book, not just for yourself, but for the world you'll leave behind. And also, it's available on audio and the Libby app from Denver Public Library.
Fantastic. That's time. Braiding Sweetgrass. Our very first contestant. Tough act to follow. Adib, you are up next. Let me reset my stopwatch here. Is that microphone on? Is there a green light on?
We're good.
Yep. All right.
Ready to go.
All right.
Locked and loaded.
Tell us the name of your book.
Yeah, I'll be speaking about The Journey of Crazy Horse by Joseph Marshall III.
All right. The Journey of Crazy Horse. You have 4 minutes started now.
So I invite you all to embark on a journey and a story about what the true American West is really about and how the American West really became what. This is a story about the life and legacy of an iconic leader named Crazy Horse, a relentless warrior and a symbol of indigenous population resilience. This journey can be found within the pages of The Journey of Crazy Horse by Joseph Marshall. So you're wondering maybe why should I pick up this book? What makes it stand out? There's so many other options out there. And for us here in Colorado, it's really important to understand the history that goes beyond just what we're taught in schools. For me personally, my parents immigrated from northern Pakistan and settled in rural Wyoming. And for me, the history I was taught was one that was always varnished with a white colonial settler viewpoint. And very rarely did we ever get the opportunity to understand history from other perspectives. The Journey of Crazy Horse is one of the few glimpses we have of a story that's being taught from a Native American perspective so that we can understand some of the true things that happen in this region and in this country. And for me personally, this is the land I grew up in. I was born in Sheridan, Wyoming. My parents currently live in Powder River country. this was the area and the story of the Lakotas. And so I encourage you to pick up this book and understand at this crossroads in history, the resilience, the fight that Crazy Horse and his people had to undergo simply for living their way of life. The journey of Crazy Horse offers that unique perspective on history. Most of what we know about Crazy Horse comes through the lens of colonial historians, and they paint him as a savage warrior battling modernity. And the reality is that through Joseph Marshall and the oral histories that were passed down through the Lakota tribes and his people, he was able to tell the true story of Crazy Horse as not just a warrior, but a cultural hero, a man deeply rooted in his people's traditions, spirituality, and the way of life. Through his eyes, he reveals the humanity behind the legend and allows us to understand Crazy Horse's motivations, dreams, and pains. Second of all, I want to say the storytelling is remarkable. I had the opportunity to listen through the book through an audio version, and Joseph Marshall is an incredible storyteller. And not only that, but you understand the perspective of the Lakota people and the Lakota tribe through his references, whether it's the month of the year, whether it's the Battle of Greasy Grass, which is what we know as the Battle of Little Bighorn, the Battle of the Hundred in the Hand, which Americans are teaching as Fetterman's Fight. These are the stories from a different perspective, through a storyteller, and through a people and a way of life that is very different than what we're taught in the classroom. So I encourage you to pick up this perspective and read it. And lastly, the journey of Crazy Horse really transcends more than history. It's a narrative of resilience and hope. It's a reminder of the struggles for justice. In this land, there has been so many individuals, peoples, tribes who've had their way of life torn apart from them simply for being who they were and being in the wrong place at the wrong time. His fight against the oppression serves as an inspiration for anyone facing adversity. Readers would draw parallels between his struggles and the issues and we see around the world today. I encourage you to look at Crazy Horse as an example for a continued fight for a way of life and a way of opportunity for whatever you're fighting for. So I urge you, don't miss this opportunity to enrich your perspective, broaden your understanding of our indigenous history by reading Journey of Crazy Horse. You'll gain insight into the life of a remarkable leader, and you'll also engage with profound narratives of a culture that continues to inspire resilience in face of challenges. Join Joseph Marshall on this journey and let this story resonate. Listen to the story of Crazy Horse. It's an incredible one.
Time. Nailed it on the dot. All right. Reset here. Julia, you are up next. Are you ready?
I think so.
Tell us the name of your book, please.
The book is called The Universe in Verse: 15 Portals to Wonder Through Science and Poetry.
All right. You have 4
By
minutes.
Maria Popova.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Maria Popova. Minutes starting now.
Okay, so I have not anything. I'm just going to talk to you from my heart about this book. I am an English teacher by heart. I will always be an English teacher. So part of this is going to be a little read aloud, where I am going to read a little bit of the book to you. One of the things that drew me to this book, I was at the American Library Association conference, and I saw the cover. If you can't see it, it is a beautiful flower with a little bit of the universe woven into the flower. So what this book does, she takes science, nature, and she also takes a lot of her personal stories and history, and she weaves them all together. Is made up of poems from our most famous poets like Emily Dickinson, Tracy K. Smith, W.H. Auden, and she weaves them together with art that is gorgeous, and then chapter titles like The Entropy and the Art of Alternative Endings. So this chapter is about what would happen if things ended in a different way than you planned. And she ends it with a poem from W.H. Auden that is sort of an homage to unrequited love. And it's called The More Loving One. Up at the stars, I know quite well that for all they care, I can go to hell. But on earth, indifference is the least we have to dread from man or beast. How should we like it were stars to burn with a passion for us we could not return? If equal affection cannot be, let the more loving one be me. Admirer, as I think I am, of stars that do not give a damn. I cannot, now I see them say, I missed one terribly all day. Were all stars to disappear or die, I should learn to look at an empty sky and feel its total dark sublime, though this might take me a little time. So he talks about, well, in that one, W.H. Auden talks about time, space, and love, unrequited love. And then she moves into another chapter that tells the story of Henrietta Leavitt and sort of a, I would say, a hidden figure of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and Edwin Hubble and our hunger to know the universe. And so she talks about Tracy K. Smith and how she won the Pulitzer Prize for Life on Mars, the year NASA published the revolutionary ultra deep field image of the observable universe captured by Hubble's corrected optics, revealing that neither Henrietta Leavitt nor Edwin Hubble other galaxy besides our own, or just a handful more, but at least 100 billion, each containing at least 100 billion stars. So you're going to learn a little bit about science, you're going to read a little bit of poetry, you're going to draw some connections between the two, and you're going to see that the mysteries of the universe are revealed in this book. So one of the things that drew me to it in the first place, other than the cover, is the fact that in the introduction, Maria says that poetry, or this book, has a lovely way of sneaking ideas into our consciousness through the back door of feeling. And as a language arts teacher by heart, that's one of the things that I love to teach other people to do, and one of the things I love to do myself. So check it out. It's very short. There you go.
Thank you. 20 seconds to spare. Very economical with our timing tonight. Senator Cutter, are you ready? You're not going to filibuster us, are you now? Okay, please tell us the name of your book.
The name of my book is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. You have 4 minutes starting now.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be up here and hear about all these amazing books. And books do so many things. I ran a bill, as they said in the beginning last year, to prevent book banning in public libraries. And we talked a lot about the connections you can make with books and how you can learn and the possibilities of how your life might be. And then also, you know, they can be a warning. You can learn things from books. And that's why I think this is an important book. This is set in the Republic of Gilead, a theocratic society born out of the rings of the U.S. Of Fred is the main character, a handmaid assigned to bear children for elite couples having trouble conceiving. The book tells the dystopian story of the legalized and systemic oppression of women. Women are educated to be subservient to men based on religious ideals, and with the argument that maintaining the social order offers more respect and safety to women. Does this sound familiar? They're disturbing themes that we've seen play out in a lot of places. They're only educated with material supporting Gilead with no dissenting voices. Women have freedom and no rights. Of Fred cannot leave the house without permission or monitored by secret police, have any privacy in her own room, have property, jobs, or the legal right to read. She does not even have the right to her own name. Instead, women in the society in general, instead being referred to as the sexual property of a man. The themes of climate change and environmental toxins causing fertility issues are also central to this plot. The book references disrupted weather patterns, contaminated water, and the prevalence of harmful chemicals in the environment. This is particularly chilling in the context of raging wildfire and the growing attention to PFAS and other toxins polluting our water and being linked to significant health issues such as cancer. Margaret Atwood has repeatedly said that there's a precedent in real life for everything in the book. She says, I decided not to put anything in that somebody, somewhere, hadn't already done. Currently, there's many laws on the books that are incredibly conservative religious laws. Louisiana and Oklahoma now require the 10 Commandments in classrooms. 44% of Americans live in states limiting abortion, including 1 in 5 Americans in states with total bans, which is an assault on women's rights, of course, taking away bodily autonomy, much as they did in the book. 6 states have no exceptions for the health of the mother. 8
1
states
minute.
have no exception for rape or incest. 12 states would have same-sex marriage bans if Obergefell and Hodges versus Hodges is overturned. And dozens of states permit discrimination in medicine and child welfare based on sexual orientation under the guise of religious freedom. The Handmaid's Tale and other novels by her have been banned by conservative states and school boards across the country. Her novel, Atwood's novel, was ranked at number 37 on the American Library Association's 1990 through 99 list of the 100 most frequently challenged books. And it made the list again the following decade. This book is an important work of fiction addressing themes that we are seeing played out across the country. It illustrates how these issues are linked and how a chain of events can slowly lead to extremes such as those depicted in the society in this book. So this is an important read for all of us, especially for people who didn't believe that we'd be here, that freedoms that are being removed could have ever happened. So I hope you agree, and I hope you decide to read this really fascinating and scary book.
And that's time. Thank you so much, Senator Lisa Feather. Now, that is it. Those are our arguments. It is time for you to deliberate. How are we doing that? I didn't really do any effort to learn the app, I'm afraid. Hopefully you guys are on top of it. So now is the time where you vote. Oh yes, there's a QR code on the table. If you have not downloaded that app, you can scan the QR code. Oh, we have a live poll? Excellent. Sweet. Shall I take this? Yeah, we got. Thank you. Are you going to keep this? Oh, boy, this is a lot of fun. It's like actually live. All the votes are going up, going down. Excellent work by the panelists. Yeah, choose the book you would most want to read. You know you're allowed to read any of them. Any of them you can read. You can read all 4. There's a winner prize for you there. All of these books, I believe, are available at the Denver Public Library. Just consult your local librarian or the website or app to track these down. Multiple formats, audio and paper. Yes, I do have a little blurb for Winter of Reading. Once again, Winter of Reading is our adult library challenge for the winter. You probably remember Summer of Reading when you were a kid. That was kind of one of those universal American things that we did it in Iowa growing up. You get a little, you'll fill out your mom says that you read 4 books and they were 20-page Dr. Seuss books, so you went in and you got the free prize. This is for adults. We have a bingo game this year. We've got this game card you can pick up at any of our locations. You can actually download it from the website as well. All you got to do is get 5 in a row. Anything you do, read any book, attend a library event. Squares on your way to get the fabulous prize. Our fabulous prizes this year. The reading mug and the winter reading tote bag. This is this year's mug. It's very wintry. Tote bag. These are the prizes. All you got to do, pick up your. These are easy here, folks. Read any book. Once again, make something in an Idea Lab. We've got all sorts of fun stuff at all of our branches, all across the system. Idea Labs. I don't even know what they got way out there in Green Valley Ranch anymore. The Bear Valley. I assume lots of cool things. We still got results coming in. Ooh, the race is tightened up. How long are we? 2 more minutes of voting. If you haven't voted, if you're book cover placards up here. in case you'd like to judge by the cover, of course. Pardon? I have read The Handmaid's Tale. I have read Journey of Crazy Horse. Yeah, it was excellent. The audiobook was excellent too. I don't remember who read that. Oh yeah. This is a fantastic place. 5 years, boy, it's just flying by. How are we doing? It's a book club. You're going to ride the train to DIA. Everybody's going to reading. You going to read your own book, or are we all reading the same book? You don't have to talk to anybody. You get a free ticket. Like maybe it even lines up. Is this a specific time, or is it just a free ticket to the airport? Okay. Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, it's February 7th. Okay. 6 p.m. on February 7th. So maybe if you're flying out like at 9 p.m. on February 7th, you can just take it. I love the airline. It's so convenient. It only took them 25 years to build a train to the airport. What else do we got to plug? Can I get rid of this phone? I only have so many hands up here. This is here. We have a bilingual trivia night. Oh, that sounds fun. Here at Raices, 6:30 p.m. there is a bilingual trivia night. That sounds fantastic. Celebrate Denver Public Library's Winter of Reading with an exciting trivia game that celebrates the rich and diverse cultures of Latin America. February 4th, Raices Brewing, 2060 West Colfax. Yes, this is Colfax, in fact. So, let me consult my votes compiled. Joe announces runner-up and winner. We have the vote is in. Our runner-up tonight. A round of applause for the Journey of Crazy Horse. Adit Khan, congratulations. Our winner cannot fulfill the duties of the Battle of the Books winner, then you will have to step in. Happen. Take over the title. And you will be taking over the title from our winner tonight, which is Creating Sweetgrass, Miss Julia Torres. Congratulations. Our 2025 Battle of the Books champion. That's fantastic. Thank you so much to all of our contestants. The winner gets fame and glory. Runner-up gets returned the ring. Oh, hey, you get a free invite to 2026. Yeah, like qualifying for a golf tournament. Come back next year with an even better book. Let's see. Do we have gifts for all of our panelists? Is that correct? We do. We have a Winter of Reading mug and a tote bag for each of you. Thank you so much for your participation. Once again, round of applause for all of our contestants. I believe I hand it off to our beloved fearless leader, City Librarian Michelle Jeske, one more time.
Thank you, Joe, for making this super fun. Thank you, panelists, for making this really profound. And thank you, audience, for participating. Really, really fun. And I hope you do it again next year. All right, enjoy. Oh, yes. Senator Cutter would like to say a few words. Thank you.
Just quickly, I wanted, there's a QR code that we left on the tables as well. If you'd like to join, this year we're trying to pass a Freedom to Read bill for schools, for public schools. We were able to pass it last year for public libraries. The school part was tougher. So if you'd like to join that coalition and just write, whatever, help raise visibility and reach out to your legislators and help us get that over the finish line, it would be awesome. Just take a picture of that QR code and we'll add you to the list. We love books.
And I just want to give a shout out to Denver Public Libraries because they play such a critical role. Family and my children. My wife and I try to take our kids every Monday to the libraries, and the folks there are so awesome. And they know my kids by name. And Miss Renata will help my daughter anytime she's looking for a new topic or a new book, and she'll help curate the exact opportunity and have a relationship. And it's something my kids look forward to every single week, and they always come home with way more books than they can read, I think, but they usually get through them. So just thank you for all the work that you guys do at Denver Public Libraries. Really, it's